everybody, and Happy New Year. I'm Brooke, and thanks for coming to Recreations by Brooke. Today is January 1st, and I realize I've got no creative daily journal. So, once again, in the hopes that I'm going to get back into doing it regularly, I am going to make my January and February creative daily journal. I've got the American Heritage Book of the Presidents. I love these children's encyclopedias. I like the size. I love the pages in them. They're just great. So all I've done so far is remove the book block and take some of the signatures apart because that's kind of boring. I also very cleverly cut a spine. This is just the back of a tablet, and it's exactly the same height as our book. And I made it, how wide did I make it? I made it 2 inches wide. So I thought I would just do that stuff because that is all pretty universal. So we just need to, let's get probably a ruler would be a good thing to do, huh? Get a ruler. Let's see if I can see this. This came apart really well. See if we can get this straight. And I know, I keep saying it every month. I swear, January is going to be my month. I just know I'm going to get back into it. I did sit down with my December daily journal, which came out so cute. I love that journal. I did not journal regularly, but I did sit down and print all the pictures for the month. And I'm getting them put in there on the right days, at least with some notes. So that's good. That's a step. And you know, you just got to keep, if you want to do it, you got to keep trying. And that will be just fine. A new year, a new journal. Yeah, like that. I hope you guys all had an absolutely wonderful New Year's Eve. And I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful year coming up. That would be swell. I'm planning on it. All right, let's get that even. Get a little space in there. Oh, my masking tape roll looks pretty low. And it's got lavender in it from my good friend Jean. So I'm just going to do the same thing I always do. Sorry, I know that's loud. I'm trying to move it away from the microphone. I'm just going to put some... Is that straight? Come on now. So I've just got it next to the front cover with maybe 1/8 of an inch of space, and that allows for it to open and close nicely so that nothing jams up. The spine and the cover aren't hitting each other. Take this up, wrap this around. Excellent. Do the same thing on the bottom. And now we'll do it on the other side. What is that? I've got some weird little piece of paper there. That's going to have to go. Okay. That evened that up some, so that's cool. Put my scissors away. Don't want those flying around. Get this straight again. That's not straight at all. Straight is not my jam. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, you know straight is nothing that I am well acquainted with. That looks pretty straight. I'll live with that. I can live with that. Ooh, again, super loud, sorry. Next time I use masking tape, I'll try to pull some pieces off before I turn the camera on. Get that down without moving anything. Cool. Get our bone folder and kind of encourage our little channels here. Oh, I think I just tore the masking tape. But there'll be fabric over there, so it's not a problem. It will be covered. Okay, let's turn this guy over. Perfect. Oh, happy day. How is that? Oh, it's going to fold up beautifully. Look at that. Perfect. I like it. So I think I'll put this aside for a moment. And will I? Should we? I haven't picked out any fabric or papers for the covers or the spine. So maybe what we will do is go ahead and start picking some pages. And then we'll do the cover afterwards. Let's do that. So generally in my creative daily journals, I do 2 months. Although my sweet friend Elizabeth at Never Hopeless by Elizabeth has thrown caution to the wind. Dare I say she has become willy-nilly? No, she has not. These are the original book pages, by the way. I know there were some cute ones I wanted to use. And I love the paper. It's nice and heavy. It's smooth. It's got this beautiful edging. I love it. So I'm going to use some of these. At any rate, Elizabeth has decided she is just going to make her journal as big as she wants to. And then, I kind of like that, but it's a little morbid. Yeah, okay, we won't use that one. She's going to, what is she going to do? She's just going to go for as long as she wants to in her journal, not do 1 page per day or a spread per day. And I thought that was a fabulous idea, but I don't think I'm that ready to throw caution to the wind. So, Elizabeth, good on you. Oh, that's kind of cool, huh? But again, nope. I thought there were some really pretty pictures in here, and I'm not finding them. Okay, that's kind of cool. We can cover that up. Let's use that one. What the heck? These came out of the book really well. That's fairly neutral. We could use that. Ooh, well, he's grumpy, isn't he? A pious first lady. Like that image? I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of neat, but it could also be covered up, so we'll put that one in there. I might put that one in there. I mean, that's kind of sad, but again, it can be covered up. Well, he's a fancy dude. I'll save these pages because they're wonderful, but we found 4 for the journal, so that's cool. So let's do that, and then I've got my giant basket. You know, I love my giant basket. Here we go. I'm going to make it similar to last month's journal because I loved how it came out. This is a great big page from a sort of home improvement book, and I love it. Look at the color. Isn't it yummy? Let's see how that looks with size-wise. A little wide, not too bad. A little long. How about if we make a pocket at the bottom? That's fun. Do that. Before we sew it in, we'll take care of that middle section. We'll cut out a little bit. And why don't we just, it's not very even, but that's okay. You know, I just don't care. So, new year, we need to start a new project. What will it be? I'm going to get back to the idea book. I'm not sure what else. If you guys have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see, please feel free to let me know. Oh, this is a beautiful end page. So we'll make it a smaller guy. Oh, will we? You know what we could do? Let's do that. We could hinge this. I'm just measuring it up against our original page. We could absolutely hinge this. Let's take a little off here. And just a little bit off the bottom. I hate to lose that beautiful old edge, but what can you do? Oh, maybe I didn't have to, but too late now, huh? And what shall we hinge? Ooh, I have this cool piece of paper from all the neat stuff that Peggy sent me. It looks like it was coffee dyed or tea dyed notebook paper that the lines all washed off of. We could hinge that. Let's do that. Yes, I think that sounds like a swell idea. How about you? How do I want to do this? Maybe I'll go like that. Can you see me? Get a nice little fold in there. And then, oh, I didn't test my glue before I started. Uh-oh. Let's hope for the best, shall we? Nope. I haven't used it in a couple days. Oh, look at those shadows still. Okay, a New Year's resolution. Figure out the lighting in here. It's just tricky. It's very tricky. Okay, you. Are you going to work now? Put those pins back in the pin cushion so I don't hurt myself. Because you know I will. Oh, look at that. Swell. And I think I'll put it on this way. Try to get the bottoms to meet up. Usually I'd keep the holes, but I don't know. I didn't this time. Usually I'd keep these. Or we could just fold it and they could still be here. They could still live with us. Look at that. Ha. Then we can decide later if we want them or not. So, test this again for size. Oh, it's going to be just fine. So let's get rid of this. Oh, look what I did. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. But again, it can be fixed. So let's try that again, shall we? Naughty. Very naughty paper. Okay, well that's tedious. It doesn't want to go. It's just going to need some washi tape, attention, or something. That will be fine. Luckily, it's my journal, so I can have a torn page. Okay, very naughty. So that's going to go in this pile for the other signature. Ooh, how about this? Handmade paper, beautiful. Look at that. Those inclusions are amazing. And I believe this is also from Peggy Pockets. Thank you, Peggy, for all my goodies. Ooh, it's crunching that thing in the middle and little bits are flying out. That's going to need to get a little trim at the bottom, not too much. Look, I'm doing it with scissors. I'm living on the edge today, aren't I? For me, not that crooked. Get that little piece of tape off. Awesome. That'll go in that pile. Ooh, schematics. This is stuff I just chucked on top of the basket that I thought I might want to use. So it's working for me so far. Let's see here. Don't want them any wider than the original pages from the book. So let's just see. We will tear it. Where's my pencil? Oh, I thought I was all prepared and stuff. Come on now. Guess we'll have to use a pen. That's dangerous. That's living dangerously. Put a little mark right there. And have to make sure to tear it off. So let's do that. I guess I could have done it on the back, huh? Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because we'll be seeing the back. Why, Brooke, why? Okay, there we go. Still not straight. That looks pretty straight. Straight enough for me. Excellent. And then I believe we have to take some off the top or the bottom. I like this part though. I don't want to tear that part off. So we will just do it like so. And I'm going to put that in my collage bucket because I like those words. And there, now we have that page. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty then. We're making progress. This is some of that fun paper from Michelle Girly Girl at your crafting source. She will, of course, be linked down below. Because if you need anything cool, Michelle's your girl. Mm-hmm. Oh, I kind of wish I hadn't done it that way. I don't really want the fold right in the middle. I kind of want it off kilter and will hinge something. And again, luckily it's for me, so the fact that there's a fold in the center is not a big deal. Because I'm not that picky. You know, oh, there it is. I buried my bone folder. All right. Mark and I ate so many vegetables last night. He bought one of those veggie platters, and we ate those and played cribbage. And my stomach is acting like I haven't eaten in 3 weeks. I got to tell you, I ate 1,000 pounds of vegetables last night. It was super fun. All right, so we have that. And what would we like to hinge? Oh, we could put in an old receipt. Let's see. Uh-oh, about to have a craft-a-lant in this giant bucket of stuff. Here we go. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Do it this way, maybe. Oh, look at that. Magical. What do you guys think? I think I like that. Yes, indeedy. I do indeed. Oh, I thought my glue was going to act feisty again. But it's not. I think I might do some sewing in this. So I may sew this down, I'm not sure. I will wait for the glue to dry and make a decision. But for now, that is mighty awesome. Now, which pile did we say this one goes into? The first one, right? Just gluing this down in case I decide not to sew, then we don't have anything flapping. And there goes more glue on my mat. Do you think I'm going to have to get a new mat this year? I think I might. Alright, so that goes in the first pile. I love that. Let's look at, this is a 1906 Woman's Home Companion, and it's in super great shape. I love this magazine. Oh, I made a digital out of it. That's what all these little bits are. That was a long time ago. And I think it was a freebie. Let's see. Should I use the cover this time? No, I can't. I can't use the cover yet. There's still lots of good pages. Those pieces need to go over there because they're bugging me. Do not be annoying, pieces. Oh, look at her. Isn't she so cute? Okay, let's see. Well, that page is kind of cool. The staples are hardly even rusted in this, you guys. It's crazy. 1906. Can you imagine? Seems like it should be absolutely destroyed by now. But it's not. Should we do it? I like that picture. How do we want to fold this, do you think? Should we put a pocket in it, maybe? Fold it up a little bit. This way. I like the raggedy edge up there. So maybe we'll fold it like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Kind of lose the picture then. Doesn't have to be that much. Okay, decision made. I'm going to fold it like this, so we still have that picture, and then we'll just tear the bottom off and keep the fuzzly edge at the top. How about that? Works for me. Looks like I folded it too wide. It is a good darn thing this is for me, huh? I'm just being like a crazy person. Ooh, let me move that up so you can see it. Here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and make some more pages just the way I'm doing it right now. And I will come back after I finish them and maybe do some sewing on the pages and show you what I've done. I will see you real soon. Don't move. And we're back. I went ahead and made all the pages for our journal. I also made a decision while making the pages. I'm going to do 3 months in here, as I've been having a hard troubles keeping up with my journaling or doing journaling, even though I want to. I thought maybe if the book was already made for a while, it would just, the stage would be set. So hopefully that is a strategy that's going to work. So I made 3 signatures. I covered up our book. I love how it came out. Apparently I am channeling the Junk Journal Shop. Johnny loves her some browns, so here you go, Johnny. You could use this journal. And I went ahead and put the back signature in, so this will be March, and I put February's signature in as well, and I'll show you what's in those. Actually, well, why don't we go ahead? I saved this one to show you how I do it. I have shown this to you guys 1,000 times every time I make a journal. But, hey, we have some new friends, so that's cool. And if you're new, if I haven't said it, welcome. So I'm just going to go ahead and straighten these up, make sure that they're all facing the right direction, and that they're where I want them in the signature. I did all kinds of hinging and put some interesting things in here. I'm excited to use this journal. I did notice, I don't know if you guys, I'll show you when I move the journal, I bound it in kind of low, but none of the pages stick out the bottom. And again, it's for me, so I'm just going to leave it. If it were for sale, I would obviously not have done that, or I would have corrected it. But it's for me, so it's just fine. Nothing is poking out or making a ruckus, so that'll be fine. And it looks like everything is right side up. And it's in the order I want it. I think, nope, that'll be good. Even our garbage bag, not garbage bag, grocery bag is in the right place. So, I'm going to take these and find the center again. It's hiding. Maybe it's this page. Huh, tricky business. Line them up, get out my ruler. Some of these pages are thick, so I like to use my ruler to get down there in that fold and make sure they're all squashed nicely together. And then I've got these cool little clips, and I'll put some on there to hold everything where it's supposed to be. And then I'll show you the template that I made. So, in our book, our spine is 2 inches wide. The space between, well, our spine is 2 inches wide. I don't even know what I was going to say. So I cut just a scrap of computer paper into a piece of paper that is 2 inches wide, same as our spine. And originally it was the height from the top of the book to the bottom of the book. And because I like to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, I folded it in half this way. Okay, then I folded from the bottom to those center holes on both ends. Okay, open that up. So then we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 lines, and then I just take the top and fold it to that set of that line, and take the bottom and fold it to that line. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So then you get 5 horizontal lines, and then to figure out, because there are 3 signatures, I fold the paper in half lengthwise, making sure to get the edges as straight as I can. And then I fold this edge to the middle, and fold that edge to the middle, and then you'll have 3 vertical lines. I go in then with my pencil and just make a mark at the intersection of each line. So then you have 3 columns of 5 holes each. And those are the 5 holes for your pamphlet stitch. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. I mark the top with a T, and then I use this template and just lay it down, make sure that it's in the channel where your spine is, that nothing's going to interfere with the book closing. It's kind of hard to show you because these signatures are in, but hopefully you get the idea. And I go in with, I use an actual awl when I'm doing the holes into the spine. So this guy is kind of thick, can you see? And I use that to punch the holes into our spine. When I'm punching the holes into the paper, I actually use my Tim Holtz pokey tool because it's kind of finer. And I like how that looks better when the book is open. So I go and punch all these 15 holes into the spine. And then what I do is, because the pages generally are a little bit shorter than the book itself, I figure out how much space there is left over between the tallest page and the height of the book. Take that measurement and take half of the measurement off the top and half of that measurement off the bottom so that your template becomes the right height for your pages. Sounds like it makes sense. I'm going to go with that makes sense. If you actually do it, you'll see what I'm saying, I would imagine. But then I use the template again, and I fold it in half and use that center row of holes. Let's get this out of the way for a second. Wow, I'm concentrating so hard. I even threaded my needle in advance so you didn't have to watch that nonsense. Once again, double checking to make sure I have it right side up. Making sure I have the T at the top of my template at the top. And I'm going to line the template up with our pages. Okay, right there in the center, got the top of the template lined up with the top of the pages. Go in with my pokey tool, can you guys see? And just poke right through. It's important to make sure your pages are folded like this while you're poking your hole to get right through the center of the spine and to not go off sideways into your pages. That does happen sometimes, and it's not a crisis. It's, it just is what it is. You can either go with it or poke a new hole, whatever makes you happy. So now I'm going to take this out, bring our book back over. I love how this came out. Unfortunately, my printer got a little mad when I was printing this page, so there's some black ink down there, but it kind of adds to the vintage feeling, so I'm okay with it. All right, so let's get out our needle and thread. This is a waxed linen bookbinder's thread. I really like it because it has all of the good qualities of waxed linen, but not the sticky, gunky wax that you get off like a jewelry grade waxed linen. So I just love it. I'll put a link to it down in the description box. It's called Line Co. And I get it from Amazon, and it's quite reasonably priced, I think. All right, so then, oh, you know what I wanted to do? This also is a good tip. If you're using book pages that have already been bound in, it's kind of hard. Can you guys see the holes? Gosh, which one of those are the holes we made, and which are the ones that were already there? So I take my template again, lay it on its side, line it up again, and then I just take a pencil and mark the holes that we made so I know where to aim. And I can go in afterwards. If the pencil marks show, I can go in afterwards and erase those. You may not be able to see it on camera, but I can see them, and that makes it so much easier than trying to guess. So let's go through that middle hole. And again, this is a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I do this just because it's easier to get your thread tight, I think, and to not have it loosen up when you're trying to tie the knot off. And I just find it to be a little more secure. So then we're going through the middle hole in our spine. Let's see if you can see that. I think you can see that. And then I'm going to go up to the next hole, or you can go down to the next hole below, whichever you prefer. And making sure not to pull our tail through. Going to go into that next hole in our signature. Snug that up a little bit. Ooh, I have the itchiest nose today. What the heck? My mom always said that meant that you were going to kiss a fool. Where's Nom? Ha ha ha. Rude. I'm so rude. Okay, then go up to that next hole. And go through the top hole in our spine. Can you see where we are? I think you can. Pull that nice and tight. Okay, now I'm going to go back through the hole below. I'm going to put it down so I can see, I'm sorry. And I think that I flip my journal around more than the average bear when I'm sewing in the signatures. I don't really know why, but I do. That is not going through all the way. There we go. There it goes. So we can go ahead and pull that snug. Pull this guy too. Again, I'm keeping an eye out to make sure I don't pull the tail all the way through because, well, then you have to start over. And it's kind of a bummer. Then I'm going to go down here and go to the second from the bottom hole. Go through there. Pull that snug. Go through the hole in the spine. Pull that snug. Oops, I just moved everything. Ooh. Crap. Just crap. Okay. I'm excited to get to using this. Let's see if I can get back into the habit of, well, as Elizabeth says, I do not daily journal. I keep a daily journal. I do not journal in it daily. Pull that nice and snug. Pull this guy snug. Then I'm going to take this from the bottom hole and go back. Oh, I missed something, didn't I? Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. I'm going to take from the bottom hole to that hole that we just came from. Going through the spine, making sure not to split my thread. The problem with splitting your thread is A, it weakens it, and B, it makes it impossible to get a good, to tighten it up well. Okay, and pull that tight. And this is where we are. Pull that tight, and then we're going to go back through our very first hole in the center. And again, I just have to put it down so I can wrangle it. Am I keeping in frame? Gosh, I hope so. So I'm super excited. I got a filming arm so I can try recording on my phone downstairs while I'm journaling. So we'll see how that goes. I know it's kind of echoey in that room, but we shall see. I'm excited to try anyway. There we go. Coming back through that hole, we're going to make sure that one thread is on one side of the long thread in the book, and the other thread is on the other side. So I'll take this, and I will run it under there, put my needle back, and I always put my needle back right away because I will definitely lose it. Take our little clips off because they're weighing the pages down a little bit. Might be easier to tighten this up if they're off. We got something right there. Let's get our pokey tool. See what we got going on. Tighten these up. that's better. I don't know what it was caught on, but check it on the outside. Yep. Oh, nope. We got one guy up here. Try that again. Okay, let's check that on the outside now. Ah, there we go. That's the ticket. It's nice and tight now. Tying a knot. The hardest thing in the world for Brooke. So tie it once. And tie it twice. And a third time, just for good measure. I don't really know why I started on the inside. Usually I put my tails on the outside, but I guess I'm just shaking it up a little bit. I could have left those long and tied something to them. I just didn't. So there you go. All right. Now let's see what we got. So I'll show you the pages I put in, and then we just need to put a closure on it. I do the same closure almost every time on my own journal. And so you can see we've got more space at the top than we do at the bottom. But again, nothing is poking out of the bottom, so I'm fine with it. So I did a grocery bag, and this is one of the pages out of the book. I just put a little Tim Holtz dude in there with his dog, some trim. This is that beautiful end paper from a book, a schematic, the page out of that 1906 Women's Companion. Coffee dyed paper, another page from the encyclopedia. Oh, my camera has frozen. Why is that? All right then. I had to stop the video and restart completely to get it to unfreeze. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, so off we go. Did a lot of sewing, put some trims in. It was just fun stuff. A page that I hinged with an old dictionary. Here's the other side of that schematic. So I've got a big old flip out. Here's a piece of the beautiful ephemera that Jeannine at J9 Scraps makes. This is a piece of like tea-stained paper, I think. Here's that back page of the signature, and I sewed a Project Life pocket on it. Actually, I think it's a Simple Stories pocket. So I thought that would be fun. Not the back, second to back page. And then grocery bag again with another fun flip out. I left the folds just because I can then decide what I want to do with it when I get to it. If I don't want it, I can rip it off. If I do want it, it's there. I glue it and make a pocket, all kinds of things. Then we get to the next signature, which is February. Actually, use some scrapbook paper, which I don't always use. All kinds of yummy different things. That's my favorite railroad paper. Coffee dyed. Another page that I hinged with this beautiful old receipt and put some trim on. This is from Jeannine at J9 Scraps too, and I made it into a tuck on this handmade paper. All kinds of fun things to do in here. Made this into a little pocket. This is the encyclopedia page. Again, a little bit morbid, so I'll probably cover that up when we get to it. And then it's just the second half of all those yummy pages. Super happy with how this came out. And then this is the other half, not half, less than half of the scrapbook page, because I folded it so that we had the full width on this side, and this left a shorter piece on this side. And I just glued this bag, glassine bag on, left a little tuck here, and then we have a little bag that we can do something fun with. That's the end of February, and then we get into March. Encyclopedia page, and I'm just giving this some pressure to try to get the pages to start lying flat. Tipped in this fun envelope on a piece of vintage photo album paper. This is a really cool old stock certificate that I got from Johni at the junk journal shop. Love it. Look at that. All those colors of ink. Aren't they neat? Grocery bag. Old ledger. This is a hinge on a piece of old dictionary. This is one of those old film envelopes. Do you remember when you actually had film and you took it in to get it developed? This is one of those pockets. This is from my friend Carol Hibbs, whom I have not seen in some time. Carol, if you're watching, hi, we miss you. Just some pretty grid paper, or dot paper, encyclopedia, the rest of that dot paper. There's the other side of that dictionary page, and I folded it so there's kind of a pocket tucky thing here. That gives us a lot of different things we could do to it when we get to it. Other half of the ledger, grocery bag, the other half of that stock certificate. Isn't that beautiful? That photo album stuff. Paper. That's what we call it. Paper. And that is another page of the original encyclopedia. And there we have it. I love this. I'm just tickled pink with it. So now all we have to do is put in a closure. And as I said, I pretty much do the same thing every time. I don't know why. And so I've got my big bite. And I've got my eyelets. And I've got a little bit of seam binding. Okay, what color? I think I'm going to use these coppery colored. I think that'll look really pretty because this is kind of reddish brown. So we'll grab those guys out. And I'm actually going to mark the album because I can't see, because of the trim on the edges of the pages, I can't see what I'm doing. So this is 5. All right, so the center is going to be right about there. So that's that. Let's see if we can do it on the back cover as well. I know that the book is about 10 1/4. That looks about right. So we'll go right there. That ought to work. And these are my 3/16 eyelets. Make sure my crocodile is set up right. And I've mentioned this before. What I do is, this is a reused container. I took a Sharpie and wrote 3/16 for the size of the eyelets. And then I wrote the combination for your big bite, which is A and 1. So that way I can always make sure I've got it right. And I'm checking. It looks like that is correct. So first we'll set it to punch our holes. And there's really no way for me to do this so that you can see. I'm sorry. I can see my little dot that I made. Crunch. There it is. This book is kind of thick. I wonder if these are going to crimp right. Guess we'll find out, won't we? The eyelet setting. I'm going to stand up to do this, get some good leverage. So I have found that the best secret I can give you for doing this is to press slowly and firmly, not like really abruptly or anything. Let's see how that... Oh, it did go. Yay, look, it did go. Can you guys see? Got a really nice little smush on that. And then we'll do the front. Okay. My ring light is up right over my head, and I always bop my head on it. I'm glad I didn't do it this time and make you guys seasick. Can't get that. Ooh, I'm gonna have to stand up to punch the hole. Kind of thick. There we go. Might as well stay standing to crimp our eyelet. Hopefully my big old giant noggin's not getting in the camera. I have crazy hair today. All right. Oh, and that did beautifully as well. Oh, I'm so happy with this. So then I think what I will do is take my seam binding Is anybody else running short on seam binding? Because I kind of am. And you can only buy 1,000,000 yards, well, 100 yards. So I was kind of thinking of getting a few colors and putting some assortments into the shop or doing them in the next live sale. Leave me a comment and let me know if you'd be interested in that. Because I don't really want 100 yards of 10 different colors, you know? That would be silly. Although it's nice with the white or the cream because you can dye those. Guess you could dye the other colors too, just not sure how much of a color change you'd get. Alright, so you got just a little lark's head knot in each of those. Quick and easy to tie up when you're trying to corral your journal. Plus, I think it looks pretty. So neutral. Look at me go neutral. Eh? Well, we know the inside will be crazy colors, so that works. Oh, look how pretty, you guys. I love how this came out. Very nice. And then the last thing is I left the spine really neutral. It's just a scrap of fabric that I put on there. I don't mind how the stitching looks at all. I could leave it like that. But I was thinking I haven't done any stitching for a long time, and I haven't made a slow stitch spine for a long time. So I might do that. It does not have to be, I don't have to wait for that to start using the journal. I mean, I can do that and glue it on afterwards, but that's why I didn't put any trim or anything right here. I'm going to wait and see what I decide to do with the spine, but I am kind of leaning towards a slow stitch. I'd like to put some trim along here because my Fabri-Tac came through. I didn't spread it out thin enough. Boy, it's like I never made a journal before. But overall, look at that. I'm so happy. It's already a little chubby because I did so many different kinds of pages. So that is going to be my Creative Daily Journal for the first quarter of the year. I'm really pleased with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And thank you so much for being here. I love spending time with you guys. And if you feel like you got some value or learned something, please consider subscribing and click that little bell button. You'll know when I put up a new video. And I think that's about all. So thanks so much, you guys. I'll see you real soon. Bye.